At Forrester, Brooke and Hope embrace. Brooke gushes about her daughter, telling her last night that Steffi hired her back. Ridge walks in and Brooke exclaims, "Isn't this wonderful? Hope got rehired." Ridge didn't even know this was being considered and asks, "What changed?" Hope knows it must seem sudden, but she and Steffi decided they had wasted enough time being at odds with one another. Brooke thinks it's incredible. Ridge agrees that it's moving in the right direction. Hope says it's not the only relationship she would like to try to rebuild. Hope tells Ridge that she and Carter went too far. "They went about things entirely wrong, and I'm trying to make it right." She's hoping to regain his trust. Ridge always cared for her, and she's been a great asset. He likes her new self-awareness. Hope is seeing things in a different light lately. Ridge muses, so is Steffi, it turns out. Brooke asks if Carter knows she's back at Forrester. Hope says they haven't spoken yet. Brooke urges her to tell him. Hope picks up her phone. At Carter's loft, he flashes to Hope telling Liam she wants a future with him. He closes his eyes and grimaces. Looking at a photo of her on his phone, he flashes back some more and grimaces again. Moving to the kitchen, Carter sees Hope is calling and answers. She tells him she has news and wants to talk. He asks her to come to the loft so they can discuss it face to face. Hope says she'll be right over. At Forrester, Hope disconnects and tells Brooke and Ridge it will be nice to share some good news for a change. Once she leaves, Brooke and Ridge go over the news of Steffi rehiring Hope. Brooke's relieved their animosity is over. Hope was happy to come into work this morning. She thanks Ridge for his support. He tells her to thank Steffi. She will do that. He admits he's surprised by this. Why now? Why bury the hatchet now? What happened? Brooke thinks it's miraculous. She suggests they make it a trend and work things out as well. At the Cliff house, Steffi and Finn kiss good morning. He got in after she fell asleep last night. Steffi brings up Liam's scans and says she's praying for good news. Liam walks in and tells her, "Yeah, well, don't stop." She asks him what the doctor said. Liam said the scans said no change, so no go. It's going to be the death of him. Steffi asks him to stop. He doesn't have to put on a brave face. Liam was hoping for a miracle, but it doesn't seem it's in the cards. Steffi tells Liam that she spoke to Hope last night. She's pretty broken up. Liam complains that he doesn't want them being sad all the time. He worries about doing this to the girls. Steffi assures him they'll get through this. She reveals that she and Hope have patched things up based on having some things in common, including their love for him. Liam's overcome. "I never thought I would hear you say that." Steffi says they're doing it for him and their little girls. They're determined to end the stupid rivalry. Liam can't even believe it's real. Steffi reiterates that she and Hope want to make peace. They understand what's truly important now and want to make him happy. Liam tells her they're both amazing. He felt responsible for their conflict. Steffi reminds them they're adults. The drama was because of their own choices. They'll work to put it behind them. Steffi says they're trying to create the kind of relationship Liam wants them to have. They go over Liam spending as much time with his daughters as he can get. Suddenly, Finn gets a text and frowns. Steffi asks, "What is it?" Finn says Dr. Buckingham wants to discuss options for Liam. Steffi gasps. Is he saying there's a chance for Liam? At Carter's loft, he flashes to Hope and Liam one more time as she knocks on the door. He opens it and thanks her for coming. Hope's glad he invited her. He blurts, "You have news." Hope tells him she's back at Forrester. Stunned, he asks, "You're back?" Hope says she and Steffi had a wonderful conversation and decided to support each other. Carter's surprised but happy for her. He asks what happened. She says it was a change in perspective. Life can be short and unpredictable. Why waste time? Something Liam reminded us of. Carter's face falls as he realizes Liam got them to make things right. Is that all you want to share, Hope? He wonders if there's anything she wants to tell him regarding Liam. Hope asks Carter if he's heard something. She doesn't know what to say. Carter tells Hope that Daphne warned him that she would break his heart, that he was a diversion, and she'll end up back with Liam. Hope stammers as he continues that he explains he went back to her mom's to see her yesterday. She guesses she missed him. Carter says, "You were there. You were busy with Liam." Hope nods. "You saw us." Carter overheard everything she said to him, how much she wants to be there for him. That he is the man for you. Hope shakes her head. "Carter." He fumes that Daphne was right. "I'm a fool." Hope tells him he's not a fool. "You're amazing, and I have missed you so much." She's hated being apart from him. "Carter, it's you. You're the man I want to be with." Carter wears a perplexed expression on his face as Hope throws her arms around him. "Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Soap Spectrum. I am Emily here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that Daphne Rose is seemingly obsessed with Carter Walton. However, it seems that the soap is pushing Carter back with Hope Logan. So, what does that mean for Daphne's future? Who could the nose be paired up with next? Could it develop into a surprising new love story and soap power couple? Keep reading and let's talk about the possibilities. Daphne has never hid her interest in Carter. When the Paris perfumier came onto the scene, she was just a plant at Forrester Creations. While doing Steffi Forrester Finnegan's dirty work, Daphne fell for her target. It seems that Daphne is getting a bit obsessed. The harder it is for her to get Carter, the more she wants him. Meanwhile, Liam Spencer is dying from an inoperable brain tumor. Liam's goal seems to be peace and forgiveness, not just for himself, but those he cares about. Liam has already encouraged Hope and Steffi to put their rivalry aside. There are clues that Steffi is about to offer Hope a place at Forrester Creations again, too. Liam is also pushing Hope to get back together with Carter. Liam feels that Hope will need someone to lean on, and seems fixated on it being Carter. It is teased that by the end of the week, there will be a reunion. There is always a possibility that it will be Ridge Forrester and Brooke Logan. However, it is seeming more likely to be Hope and Carter, especially with all of Liam's pressure. Fans have never quite been on board with ARTER. There was no real build-up, and it seemed to come out of the blue with no explanation. However, the soap already used the Forrester Creations takeover to bond Carter and Hope. It sounds like Liam's death will have the couple reunite. If Carter and Hope do reunite, then what does that mean for Daphne? Sure, she has the perfume line, but there's not much story there. That means Daphne will need something else to do. That could explain Will Spencer, Electra Forrester, and Zende Forrester Dominguez encouraging the nose to start a new line. So that will give Daphne a reason to stay in Los Angeles. But what about her next man? Although we haven't seen Justin Barber around lately, could he be a good match for Daphne? Over the years, Bold and Beautiful has seen literally dozens of characters come and go. Some, such as the OG Sally Spectra, will never be forgotten. Others, well, let's just say nobody is sitting around wishing Samantha Kelly would show up to redesign the offices of Forrester Creations. But if there's one character whose absence truly changed the canvas forever, and whose presence we miss on a near-daily basis, it would be that of the late, great Stephanie Douglas Forrester, played by the inimitable Suze and Flannery. When the wildly talented winner of numerous Daytime Emmy Awards decided to leave the show in 2012, her beloved alter ego was diagnosed with lung cancer and eventually died in the arms of longtime nemesis Brooke Logan. It was without doubt the end of an era, and a storyline twist which reduced us to tears and forever changed the course of both the Forrester family and the show on which their lives unfurl. While fans tend to become extremely upset when a soap's well-established history is upended, something tells us most Bold and Beautiful viewers would welcome a Stephanie return with open arms. But she died, right there in front of our eyes, naysayers might whine. Our response? So did. In fact, Perhaps it was one of those not as dead as formerly believed characters who has been keeping Stephanie hidden away from the world, as she recovered from her very near brush with death, her daughter, Felicia Forrester. You might recall that years ago, Stephanie allowed everyone to believe that Felicia lost her own battle with cancer, supposedly dying in her mother's arms. In reality, Stephanie had spirited her off for treatment. Given this show loves nothing more than to revisit past storylines, it's not hard to imagine them reversing the fortunes of these two characters. Might Felicia have returned the favor, so to speak, by taking Mom Stephanie somewhere to recover? If there's one major fly in the ointment, it is that Flannery has made it clear that she is loving retirement, meaning it's darn near impossible for us to imagine her returning to the soap. And while we've definitely declared Stephanie a character who could never be recast, well, never say never, right? Desperate times call for desperate measures, and fan dissatisfaction with current bold and beautiful storylines have left us thinking that's the case here. The real question, which you should head to the comment section to answer, is who in the world could even possibly step into the role. The bold and the beautiful's Liam Spencer is trying to embrace life while knowing he is dying. But is he about to receive a miracle cure like Eric Forrester? Or is this really it for the man who could never make up his mind between Hope Logan and Steffi Forrester? When Liam was first diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumor, it was assumed that John Finnegan would find a cure at the last second, the same way he did for Eric, and Liam would be saved. But now that does not seem like it is going to happen, at least according to Scott Clifton. In a recent interview with Michael Fairman TV, Clifton spoke in detail about the story but was careful not to specify whether Liam was really going to die. Instead, fans can guess what will happen from what he implies. He was very clear that B&B is not doing a complete repeat of Eric's mystery illness. I don't want to repeat John McCook's wonderful story from last year. I don't think you guys want to see a do-over of that wonderful story, Clifton said. I think that would be the easy way out. Clifton said that he was happy when he learned Liam was going to get a front-burner story after barely being on screen for well over a year. However, he was surprised to hear what the story would be. I can't tell you where the rest of that conversation went, but I know where this is going, Clifton said. Bradley Bell, head writer and producer, is not playing around. I'll put it that way. Hope may have told Liam she wants to be with him forever after learning of his tumor, but Clifton was quick to say this is not a romantic love story. This is a different kind of love story. It's about grief. It's about loving people after you're gone. How can I continue to love you when I don't exist anymore? If Liam doesn't exist anymore, then it seems pretty clear where this story is headed, and it looks to be a tearjerker for all. This week on The Bold and the Beautiful, Daphne tells Steffi that she's saying au revoir to Lay we can't say as we blame her either. The character was introduced as the temptress that no man could resist, and yet resist her, Carter has. She's stolen a kiss here or there, but he hasn't gotten as lightheaded from her proximity as everyone else has from inhaling her perfumes too deeply. He just stubbornly insists that Hope is the one for him. Love shouldn't be such hard work, Daphne has suggested. But apparently, when you're as muscle-bound as Carter, you're not put off by the idea of heavy lifting. If Daphne were to really leave La, it would be a shame, because she was introduced with so much potential. Her confidence even started to rub off on her portrayer Muriel Hilaire. She wasn't one of the show's standard-issue, marriage-minded female characters. She was haughty, naughty, and thought of sex as a fun hobby, not some sacred act, but she almost instantly fell for Carter and ditched her attitude. What that left her with, storyline-wise, was just throwing herself at Carter every chance she got. There remains hope that Daphne will stick around. Spoilers for the week have Zend, Elektra, and Will pitching her on a new idea. But if Daphne does stay, fingers crossed, the writing for her will sharpen, allowing her to remember that she is a catch. not a desperate woman who would waste her time on a guy who is too blind to see how exciting his life would be if he gave it a French twist. The bold and the beautiful spoilers are in for Tuesday, May 20, 2025. In tomorrow's episode, fans can expect Hope Logan to drop a truth bomb on Carter Walton. Meanwhile, Ridge Forrester is suspicious of Steffi Forrester Finnegan's sudden 180 regarding Hope. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the next episode of the CBS soap opera. Let's begin with Daphne Rose, who is comforting Carter. The COO was confused after overhearing Hope and Liam Spencer's private conversation. Liam kept pushing Hope to get back together with Carter. That part made Carter smile. However, the next part was Hope wanting to reunite with Liam. Of course, Carter was missing some context from that conversation. Naturally, Carter went to vent to Daphne, who is all too eager to offer him comfort. Things are starting to turn around for Hope. Steffi just offered a huge olive branch and asked her to return to Forrester Creations. It was only after this olive branch that Hope finally apologized for her role in the FC takeover. Steffi's olive branch could have Hope reconsidering Liam's plea about her reuniting with Carter. Of course, fans know that if Hope goes to see Carter now, she could interrupt Daphne's slick move. However, it could also force Hope to tell Carter what he actually overheard. That could mean telling Carter about Liam's deadly diagnosis. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for May 20 reveal that Steffi will make an announcement. Although Steffi offered Hope her job back, will Ridge Forrester agree? Eric Forrester has always been pretty forgiving, but Ridge might have some issues here. For one thing, Ridge will be doubtful of Steffi's sudden change of heart. It's not like Steffi can tell him that Liam's diagnosis has put things into perspective. So how far will Steffi and Taylor Hayes go to keep Ridge from the truth? This could also bring up another conflict between the father and daughter. Steffi had a big issue with Ridge and Eric making a deal with Carter without giving her a say. So, will Ridge oppose Steffi's decision to bring back Hope? How will this change things at Forrester Creations? Just how messy will this secret get? In the May 21, 2025 episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, viewers were immersed in a tense blend of emotional revelations, complex interpersonal dynamics, and a looming health crisis that has begun to reshape the very foundation of Forrester Creations. Hope Logan's emotional turmoil takes center stage as a private conversation with ex-husband Liam Spencer is accidentally overheard by Carter Walton. Misinterpreting the heartfelt exchange, Carter is left wounded, believing Hope may be open to rekindling her relationship with Liam. This misunderstanding introduces tension and leads Carter to seek comfort from Daphne Rose, whose subtle affections add a new emotional dimension. Their late-night discussion at a nearby cafe signals the start of a delicate emotional entanglement. Daphne challenges Carter's perception of the overheard conversation, suggesting there may be more than meets the eye, which could influence his next move with Hope. Steffi Forrester Finnegan shocks colleagues and family members by extending an offer for Hope to return to Forrester Creations, despite their contentious history. Delivered during a tense boardroom meeting, the offer appears to stem from a personal transformation following Hope's apology for her role in past corporate conflicts. Beneath the surface, however, lies a potentially devastating motive. Steffi is secretly dealing with Liam's terminal diagnosis. This revelation has shifted her priorities, prompting her to mend broken relationships while balancing the secrecy of Liam's condition. Her decision sets off a chain reaction that may complicate both professional and personal dynamics. Ridge Forrester remains skeptical of Steffi's sudden change of heart. Reflecting alone in his office, he questions her motivations and suspects an undisclosed truth may be influencing her actions. Ridge recalls recent tensions, including disagreements over executive decisions, further deepening his distrust. The secrecy surrounding Liam's condition, known only to a select few, adds weight to Ridge's suspicions. As Steffi moves forward with decisions independent of family input, Ridge contemplates whether to challenge her leadership, risking further destabilization within the company. The stakes are raised when Steffi prepares to make a pivotal announcement at a high-profile company gathering. While initially tied to Hope's reinstatement, hints suggest a broader strategic shift, possibly a new collaboration with an external fashion brand. This development triggers mixed reactions. Eric Forrester cautiously supports it, while Ridge remains resistant. The pressure of concealing Liam's diagnosis from Ridge adds emotional strain to Steffi, threatening to fracture familial trust and business unity alike. In a heartfelt scene at Brooke Logan's home, Hope and Steffi finally find common ground. Surrounded by memories of their daughters, the two women share an emotional exchange, prompted by Steffi's disclosure of Liam's condition. Hope expresses deep gratitude, and both women acknowledge the years of animosity that have defined their relationship. As they reminisce about their daughter's bond and vow to unite for the sake of family, Steffi offers Hope a position back at Forrester Creations, symbolizing not just a job opportunity but a path toward reconciliation. Their whispered agreement marks a turning point in their strained history. Hope and Steffi continue to carry the burden of Liam's terminal illness, joined in secrecy by Taylor Hayes and Finn Finnegan. Together, they strategize how to preserve Liam's remaining time, creating memories with Beth and Kelly before the inevitable loss. In a poignant addition, Steffi recalls a moment of joy, Liam teaching Kelly to ride a bike, emphasizing the fleeting nature of their time together. As they pray for a miracle, the emotional toll binds them, but also threatens to break their fragile alliance when the truth comes to light. Meanwhile, Liam confronts his diagnosis alongside Finn in a sterile hospital setting. The two discuss the need for further testing as Liam grapples with the emotional weight of Hope's reaction to his condition. In a moment of selflessness, Liam urges Hope to consider a future with Carter, placing her happiness above his own. Finn, while touched by Liam's noble gesture, emphasizes the importance of focusing on his own well-being. Though hesitant to give false hope, Finn encourages additional scans to reassess the prognosis. Liam's reflection in the mirror, visibly worn by illness, reflects the quiet determination to fight for more time with his children. As the episode closes, the intertwined stories of Hope, Steffi, Liam, and Carter highlight a fragile web of misunderstandings, withheld truths, and emotional breakthroughs. Carter faces a decision: to trust Daphne's interpretation or confront Hope directly. Hope must choose between revealing the full extent of Liam's condition or preserving the tentative peace. In a deeply emotional arc on the bold and the beautiful, Liam's declining health and presumed terminal diagnosis led him to stay at Steffi's home, a move grounded in love and compassion. With his future uncertain, being close to Steffi, the mother of his child, provided him a comforting refuge during what they all thought were his final days. As Liam settled into Steffi's home, the environment shifted. Conversations grew more heartfelt, and familiar routines began to resurface. Emotional moments blurred past boundaries, and Liam's feelings for Steffi, never fully extinguished, resurfaced. His confession that he never stopped caring hinted at deeper emotions stirring beneath the surface. Though they never explicitly crossed any lines, subtle interactions spoke volumes. A glance, a touch, a silence, it all added up. Suddenly, the storyline takes a dramatic twist. Steffi begins to experience symptoms that she initially dismisses as stress-related. But a pregnancy test changes everything she's expecting. In a clever move by the show's creators, Jacqueline McKinn's Wood's real-life pregnancy is seamlessly integrated into the narrative, bringing an authentic layer to Steffi's journey. However, the pregnancy doesn't bring immediate joy. Instead, it sows seeds of suspicion and uncertainty, particularly for Finn. Although he initially offers congratulations, Finn's demeanor soon changes. Doubt creeps in as he questions the timeline of events. His concerns intensify, knowing the emotional closeness Steffi and Liam shared during Liam's vulnerable period. Despite Steffi's reassurances of loyalty, Finn can't shake his unease. He's seen Liam re-enter Steffi's life before. Now, with a pregnancy in play, Finn starts to question not only the paternity, but also whether Steffi and Liam's time together crossed a deeper line. Meanwhile, Liam remains unaware of the chaos unfolding. Recently relieved to discover he's not dying after all, Liam is still processing the emotional roller coaster triggered by his misdiagnosis. As he begins to imagine a future again, he may now face a consequence he never anticipated, a potential child, and the ripple effects it could have on Steffi's marriage. This development raises pressing questions. Is Finn reacting out of insecurity, or does he have legitimate reasons to be concerned? Could the pregnancy uncover not just a paternity issue, but a renewed romantic entanglement? As emotions intensify, the situation teeters on the edge of a major fallout. The bold and the beautiful fans still have a reason to be upset over what's been going on with Taylor Hayes. That's because there have been so many recasts that fans just can't keep up with it anymore. Not only that, but they also think that the current Taylor, Rebecca Budig, has been totally miscast. And not only that, they are also upset that Krista Allen was let go from the role, as she seemed to be a suitable replacement for actress Hunter Tylo, who was the original Taylor. As our readers can imagine, the internet certainly did have a lot to say about the matter. Some have even commented with, Krista basically said that after she got nominated for her Emmy, she was blindsided when they didn't renew her contract. Then later, they asked her to be recurring, and she said no. The show was vague about what happened, just saying they offered her recurring, whereas she was specific, so I'm inclined to believe her. Not to mention, Rena basically said the same thing. Another fan of the show wrote, I think everyone liked K.A., and she was very good as Taylor. I get the feeling that Belle was worried that she was too good, that it would make the Brooke character seem like the bad guy. He is obsessed with the Brooke character and she always wins. It would be difficult with a Taylor that everyone likes and can make the character seem like a strong woman. And then there was this comment as well. K.A. was a good replacement for HT. They both play a mix of vulnerability and strength in the part. I enjoy Rebecca Budig as an actress, but either the writing or the character doesn't fit with her looks. I enjoy her as a stronger, active character. Now, whether or not Rebecca Budig will remain on the show as Taylor remains to be seen. But as far as Krista Allen is concerned, she has never made any comments as to why she was let go from the soap. The Bold and the Beautiful airs weekdays on the CBS network. Check your local listings for times. Also, let us know what you think of this story by leaving us a line in our comments section below. In recent developments on The Bold and the Beautiful, long-standing rivalries, hidden agendas, and emotional entanglements have taken a dramatic turn as Hope Logan stumbles upon a shocking conspiracy involving Steffi Forrester and the manipulative newcomer Daphne. What began as a heartfelt reconciliation between Hope and Steffi, prompted by Liam Spencer's tragic medical diagnosis, soon unraveled into a storm of deception. Steffi had extended an olive branch, offering Hope a position back at Forrester Creations. This act of forgiveness seemed to symbolize unity and healing between the two women who had spent years at odds over Liam and corporate conflicts. However, the peace was short-lived. Behind the scenes, Daphne had been working her way into Carter Walton's life, attempting to solidify her place both professionally and personally. While she presented herself as a loyal Forrester employee, her motives were far from innocent. In a shocking twist, Hope overheard a private conversation between Steffi and Daphne that exposed the truth. Daphne was brought into Forrester Creations specifically to sabotage Hope and Carter's relationship. The flirtations and emotional ties Daphne had with Carter were orchestrated, not organic. Hope's discovery ignited an explosive confrontation. She burst into the room, confronting Steffi and Daphne with raw fury. Steffi attempted to justify her actions, claiming the move was about protecting the company and Carter, but the damage had been done. The situation quickly escalated into a physical altercation, drawing the attention of stunned employees and culminating in Carter's arrival. As Hope tearfully revealed the betrayal to Carter, Steffi confessed to everything: her involvement, the manipulation, and her motives. Carter, shaken and disappointed, turned his back on Steffi and Daphne. He left the office with Hope, signaling the end of their tolerance for deceit and corporate power plays. Outside Forrester, Carter and Hope shared a cathartic moment of emotional honesty. Both admitted to never having truly stopped loving each other. Hope explained that her relationship with Liam had been rooted in compassion, not romance, and Carter acknowledged his own insecurities and mistakes. The couple reconciled, embracing a future defined by authenticity rather than sabotage. Their decision to leave Forrester Creations marked a significant shift, not only in their personal journey, but also in the dynamics within the company. Steffi was left to confront the consequences of her actions, while Daphne stood isolated, her plans exposed and her role diminished. Meanwhile, the ripple effects of this drama continue to destabilize the workplace. Ridge Forrester is questioning Steffi's judgment, particularly in light of her unilateral decisions affecting key personnel. Daphne, feeling betrayed by Steffi and cornered professionally, may seek alliances with rival fashion houses to regain her footing. As the fallout continues, viewers are left wondering whether Hope and Carter will return to Los Angeles with a renewed purpose, and whether Steffi will attempt to repair the damage she's caused or burn the last of her bridges. This storyline encapsulates the intense emotional stakes and corporate intrigue that define the bold and the beautiful. Stay tuned for more updates as relationships evolve, allegiances shift, and new rivalries emerge within the world of fashion's most turbulent family empire. On the May 19th episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, emotional turning points unfolded as forgiveness, grief, and unexpected choices took center stage. As Liam faces devastating health news, Hope and Steffi make a pact to rebuild not only their fractured relationship, but also their professional future at Forrester Creations. At Brooke's house, Hope reflects on memories with Liam and Beth as Steffi pays her a surprise visit. The two women, long defined by rivalry and tension, finally share a vulnerable conversation about Liam's declining condition. Hope expresses gratitude to Steffi for being transparent about Liam's diagnosis. They both acknowledge the emotional toll of his absence, especially on their daughters, and agree it's time to stop the infighting. Steffi admits past resentment, but also recognizes Hope's pain. In a pivotal gesture, she invites Hope to return to Forrester Creations, not as a guest, but as a designer in her own right. Hope is overwhelmed, confessing guilt over the past takeover and the damage it caused. Steffi forgives her, insisting their unity is now more important than past grievances. Meanwhile, Liam continues to grapple with his worsening health. During a consultation, Finn informs him that his neurological scans show no improvement. Liam, holding onto a sliver of hope, asks if there's any chance for recovery, but Finn cautions against false optimism. Despite this, Liam expresses his strong desire to live for the sake of his daughters, Kelly and Beth. He also makes an emotional request. If he doesn't survive, he wants Finn to do everything in his power to reunite Hope and Steffi for the children's future. When the test results confirm no change, Liam begins to accept the gravity of his situation, preparing to say goodbye to his children. At Carter's loft, Daphne finds him emotionally wrecked after overhearing a private exchange between Hope and Liam. Carter had believed a future with Hope was possible, but he now realizes she sees Liam as her true partner. Devastated, Carter questions his worth and feels humiliated for misreading her intentions. Daphne, while sympathetic, encourages him to let go of hope, and embrace a future free from one-sided affection. She offers emotional support, reminding him that real love shouldn't be so painful or complicated. As they share a quiet moment, Daphne plants a kiss on his cheek, perhaps signaling a new direction for Carter's heart. Back at Forrester, Steffi's decision to reinstate Hope stirs both anticipation and apprehension. The fashion house, struggling creatively, welcomes Hope's return as a potential revival for the brand. Despite past betrayals, Steffi recognizes the value of Hope's unique vision, which had previously defined the Hope for the Future line. Thomas reacts to the news with cautious silence, while Eric and Ridge greet Hope with warmth and professional respect. However, Brooke remains wary, reminding Hope that past truces with the Forresters, particularly with Steffi, have often dissolved under pressure from power struggles and romantic entanglements. Hope, determined to reclaim her creative independence, insists this return is about building something for herself, not about old flames or lingering resentment. Even as Hope settles into her new role, tensions simmer. Thomas's lingering interest in Hope blurs the line between professional admiration and personal affection. Meanwhile, Steffi maintains strict boundaries, making it clear that the business must remain free from emotional distractions. In a dramatic turn of events on the bold and the beautiful, Ridge Forrester is about to leave behind the exhausting love triangle that has consumed much of his life and the show's storyline. For years, fans have watched Ridge caught between Brooke Logan and Taylor Hayes, enduring an emotional tug-of-war filled with tears, passion, and repeated heartbreak. But that chapter appears to be closing as Ridge reconnects with a surprising figure from his past, Shauna Fulton. Spoilers reveal that Shauna's unexpected return to Los Angeles is more than just a nostalgic cameo. Years ago, she vied for Ridge's heart and ultimately lost to Brooke. But the chemistry between them never fully faded. Now, an unplanned encounter between Ridge and Shauna reignites something powerful, something Ridge didn't realize he was missing. Ridge's reaction is instant and unguarded. He admits his surprise at seeing her again, but it's clear that deeper feelings are resurfacing. Unlike Brooke or Taylor, Shauna brings no emotional baggage. Her calm presence and self-assurance offer Ridge something he's never truly had: peace and the hope of a fresh start. Taylor is the first to sense the shift. She notices how Ridge lights up around Shauna and how his demeanor softens. Brooke soon catches on, and when she does, it cuts deeply because Shauna isn't just another romantic rival. She represents something Brooke and Taylor can't: a clean slate. Despite Taylor's ongoing struggles and vulnerability, Ridge begins to pull away. In a moment of painful honesty, he tells her he can't keep pretending. Brooke, in turn, scrambles to regain control of the narrative, but Ridge is no longer interested in repeating the past. Within weeks, Ridge makes a bold choice. He decides to walk away from both Brooke and Taylor. "This isn't about history," he says. "It's about who I am now." His decision shakes the foundation of the Forrester family and leaves Brooke and Taylor blindsided. Shauna's return doesn't just disrupt a love story. It marks a potential turning point in one of the show's longest-running conflicts. With Ridge stepping away from the past and toward a future with Shauna, the bold and the beautiful signals a fresh narrative direction. One that may finally bring an end to the endless rivalry and open the door to something entirely new. This week on The Bold and the Beautiful, Brooke has some shocking news for Ridge and Liam, may just have a chance at survival after all. With Liam dying, Hope and Steffi's reconciliation may make sense for them, but for everyone else who hasn't yet heard the news, it's sure to be a shock. And that's especially true when Brooke tells a shocked Ridge that Hope got rehired. Granted, Steffi made clear that they aren't bringing back Hope for the future just yet, but we're sure Ridge has more than a few thoughts about his daughter's sudden shift. Daphne, meanwhile, is about to shock Steffi with the news that she's heading back to Paris. And honestly, she's shocking us too. since Carter's finally come to the conclusion that Hope wants Liam and not him. But that all may change when Carter has it out with Hope, and she realizes that he saw her and Liam together. "I overheard everything you said to him," Carter tells her. Well, maybe not everything, because he doesn't know why Liam was pushing Hope to reconcile with him. Nor does he know that he may actually have a chance, since Liam's a goner, or is he? While Finn just told Liam that there's been no change in the scans, the doc still insists he can't give up on Hope, and that's where Grace comes in. "Did you find a way to save me?" Liam asks Dr. Buckingham. She may have, but if so, she warns Liam that it could have a serious impact on your quality of life. Check out the bold and beautiful spoilers to find out who else Brooke gets into it with and how Liam reacts to Grace's news. Lawrence St. Victor shared his Monday walking ritual with fans who found his words about easing into the week to be profound. Each week has a new challenge for Carter Walton on The Bold and the Beautiful. His latest issue is that he overheard Hope talking to Liam and mistakenly thought they were getting back together. In reality, she wants to be with him because he doesn't have much time left due to his brain tumor. Liam's been preaching how everyone should take time to smell the roses and appreciate their lives. Carter's alter ego, Lawrence St. Victor, also has some similar advice that he shared with his friends. Sharing a video of himself walking on Instagram, St. Victor wrote, "Walking into the week with intention. No rush, no pressure. Just one step at a time. Show up for yourself, even if it's just a walk." Monday motivation, mindset matters, actor life, #walk with me, dad life, discipline over comfort, start strong. In the video, he greeted the fans and told them he was out for a Monday morning walk to get his steps in, noting, "If I can, I like to slowly walk into Mondays, ease into the week." He continued, "It could be a big week for a lot of people, maybe a hectic one for me too. So it's nice to start off slow, walking into the week with intention, one step at a time, no pressure." Thank you so much for sharing your motivations and inspirations for Monday. Keep them coming. He was thankful for the suggestions and explained that life is not so much the finish line. It's about running the race. He then encouraged more thoughts from his followers and wished them well, and Carter R.B. and B's greatest romance. Co-star Romy Park shared a quick clip of Christopher Lloyd's Doc Brown from Back to the Future looking like he was hit with a bolt of inspiration. St. Victor replied with some heart emojis, and she responded, "Well, St. Vic, you've inspired me. I'm going to ballet class before heading to set." An excited St. Victor responded, "Romy Park, let's go." One fan asked the insightful question, "What are your dreams, if I may ask?" The actor replied, Enrique__O_E to create stories that inspire and entertain, be healthy in mind and body, and for my family to flourish. And one of his followers was inspired by his words and commented, "When you talk to your fans like this, it is really motivating me to walk. I'm gonna start tomorrow."